those who are watching right now, good evening. Maraming salamat po. This episode is especially dedicated sa ating mga old listeners. So, yung mga matagal nang nagpa-follow sa atin, I am so happy na majority, 99% of you are successful when it comes to your low carb and fasting journey. So, maraming salamat that you are also sharing your journey and your success stories. Sa mga hindi pa nakapag-share, sa mga silent readers, you actually don't know kung sino yung pwede ninyong ma-inspire with your own story. You are very much free to comment your own success story para ma-inspire yung iba. However, merong mga konti, maybe less than 1% of those who are following us, especially yung mga part na ng ating LCF Masterclass na kahit pa sinusunod na nila yung proper low carb, and then they also do fasting the right way, still parang hindi pa rin sila ganon ka-successful. They have either nag-heal sila in one aspect, bumaba yung kanilang blood sugar, bumaba yung kanilang timbang, pero yung kanilang blood pressure ay mataas pa din. For others naman, nawala na yung sakit sa kanilang katawan, wala na silang allergies, wala na lahat, pero namomroblema na naman sila kasi nga nangangayayat daw sila. However, when you think about it, if you already do things the right way, and sure na sure kayo with your food diary that you are doing everything na to the best of our protocols and still not successful, then maybe it's time for you to look into what is in your mind. Yes, our thinking, our mental health, how we process things, how we talk to ourselves, yung sinatawag nating self-talk, actually has a lot to do when it comes to our healing. It's good that you've become curious na nag-start kayo ng low carb, nag-start kayo ng fasting, and then you also applied it to yourself. However, when you did that, and then after a while, parang naging okay, and then later on, maybe the people around you, your family, may not be very supportive, and you mismo, hindi rin ganon ka-knowledgeable sa low carb and fasting, you just did it on your own, and hindi nyo ma-defend ng bonggang-bongga yung lifestyle nito. Sometimes, if you don't know so much, if you don't know the science behind, mas madali kayong ma-influence and you start to doubt yourself and you start to doubt the process. And then once you start to doubt the process, dun mo na nakikita na parang hindi na siya effective, parang ang mas nangangayayat ka, parang ang mas nagiging sakitan ka tingnan, you suddenly go into that mindset na feeling mo parang hindi ito para sa'yo. You have different moods and then iniisip mo minsan na you are looking worse than previously than when you started. Pero if you will be very objective about it, actually, nawala na yung marami sa mga problema mo before. It's just that you replaced it with something else. And sadly, this something else is only made up by your mind. Because, yun nga ang sabi ng quote na to, if you believe you can, kung naniniwala kang kaya mo, o kung naniniwala kang hindi mo kaya, tama ka pa din. You are right. That is because our mind, what we tell ourselves is very, very important. So, kailangan that when you believe you are healing, you really have to feel that you are healing. And later, I will tell you the 2 mantras na kailangan sabihin natin sa ating sarili every day. 3 times a day, parang vitamins na kailangan natin i-sustain. Because I understand na marami talaga na medyo pessimistic o di kaya going through something and they tend to think negatively sa mga bagay-bagay. So this is especially dedicated, especially sa mga mommies and sa ibang mga participants natin na namromoblema because they are too thin. Hindi na nila naisip noong mga panahon na gusto nilang mawala lang yung kanilang sakit sa katawan, yung kanilang allergies and all that because they actually don't have the proper mindset. But before I tell you that healing, that mantra for healing, ipapakita ko muna sa inyo yung ibang mga studies. Because before, I also don't believe in this. Hindi rin ako naniniwala sa mga ganitong bagay. I thought before na yung real medicine, yung real therapy, yung paggamot ay nasa reseta lamang. Because, yun nga, ako as a doctor, I used to think na yung pinaghirapan kong lisensya is that is the thing that I can be practicing. So if hindi ko siya mailalagay sa reseta, and then maybe kung hindi siya nangangailangan ng reseta, then maybe it's not a very important thing. Like say for example, exercise or eating right or positive thinking or going to the sun, 'di ba? Kahit sino naman pwedeng mag-advise noon. So as a doctor before, parang iniisip ko those mindset are less important. What is more important is yun lang kailangan ng reseta, kailangan ng lisensya talaga. Like yung mga gamot na iinumin, yung mga gamot na kailangan bilhin with prescription. But now when it comes to nutrition, when it comes to overall health, na I realize now na those things pala are equally important, if not actually even more important. Because if we only take care of our body through preventive measures like doing proper diet, eating at the right foods at the right time, and also alamin kung ano yung tamang physical activity for you, direct sun exposure, kahit 15 minutes lang a day, equally enough na amount of sleep and activity, and also your proper mindset. Actually, kapag na-cover mo yung lahat ng yan, hindi ka na mangangailangan ng doktor. Hindi ka na mangangailangan ng doktor for lifestyle diseases. You will only need doctors maybe in case of emergency. Of course, we don't wish for that, but we reserve doctors only in case of emergency or yun talagang mga unexpected na mga sakit. But generally, supposedly, if we only take care of our food intake na nasa bahay lang, our day-to-day activities, we won't need a doctor as often as we are needing doctors now. So, of course, we are happy that patients believe in us because I am still a doctor and I still see patients. My specialty is on surgery, so ears, nose, and throat, and also facial plastic surgery. So it's for aesthetic reasons. It's optional. It is hindi siya necessary, but it is an optional surgery for those who want to improve their face, for those who improve their physical appearance. So it's different. So those are the things that you can maximize your need for doctor. And now I realize that positive thinking and the proper mindset is equally important. And I will show you some studies that can help us understand this more. Just like this article, Mental Links to Enhance Healing and Exploratory Studies. So, tiningnan nila yung mga athletes na nagkaroon ng injury. So, merong iba na slower yung healing, meron din iba na very rapid yung kanilang healing. And nakita nga nila na those na merong positive outlook, merong stress control, merong social support, merong positive self-talk, yung mga nagsasabi ng maganda sa sarili nila, like I am good, I am healthy, I have the best support, I know I can heal, I know na kaya ko to. With a good mental imagery, they imagine themselves na the moment that they are already well, that they are already okay, na makakalakad na sila kahit hindi nagkaroon pa sila ng mga knee injury. But every day they imagine their knees healing and they are already looking forward to the time na makakapagtakbo sila ulit. They actually had better, faster healing. The most significant results were found in the more action-related factors of goal setting, positive self-talk, and the use of healing imagery. So, paano ito? You actually have to envision yourself. Kung ano yung best image mo of yourself, what you want to look like, how you want to perform, and imagine that every day. After you wake up and before you sleep at night, you have to imagine that. Kahit pa sinasabi ng iba na nangangayayat ka and you know you are doing your part, you are already increasing your protein intake, you are already increasing your exercise, your physical activity, unti-unti, you have to imagine that slowly your muscles are growing and then your body is taking its time to heal, na kinukuha, nag-autophagy pa siya, kinukuha pa niya yung mga parts na hindi niya kailangan, nire-recycle niya ito. And imagine that, those being recycled, being used up to fuel your body para magkaroon ka ng energy, and also magkakaroon ka ng bulk of muscles, and you will look younger, you will look more vibrant, you will look healthier. And these things, nakita nga nila, kailangan when it comes to faster healing, and yung pinaka-importante dito, it's within one's potential control. So, nasa tao lamang. And this is not just a one-time science, ha? Matagal na yung mga science na ito. Just like this one. Recent lang to because it's related to COVID. So, the effect of positive thinking on COVID-19 patient healing. So, nakita nila na kahit sa pareho silang in-apply na merong mga vaccine and everything, na yung merong correlation when it comes to patient's attitude and lesser time to heal. So based on this study, importante nakita nila na merong relationship yung positive thinking and recovery of patients. Aside from that, meron silang mga ibang mga advices like, for example, pagkaroon ng proper guidance and counseling which can still address the mental health of the patient, adequate intake of vitamins and nutrients, yun yung at least covered na yan ng ating low carb, and also doing regular exercise, because exercise actually hindi lang siya physical health, but it also boosts endorphins, the good hormones in our body that makes us feel good about ourselves. And it implementing proper rest pattern. So rest is very important. So hindi lang basta exercise lang, may tamang pahinga din. Providing training in relaxation techniques and breathing exercises. So all of these things are actually going to make you feel good, and that feeling good, that positive thinking will also help when it comes to healing. So this is even on COVID-19. So this is somewhat new. And hindi lang yan. Even before, marami ng actually, sobrang dami ng research behind this. Hindi lang to basta mga articles lang or blogs lang. These are real research papers. So with this one, tingnan natin. This is spiritual role in healing, an alternative way of thinking. Because akala natin ngayon, we all only believe in modern science, di ba? In Western medicine. Pero sa totoo lang, tingnan mo dito, Western medicine originated within spiritual institutions. So it's actually started with spiritual belief, and then later on nga lang, however, nag-iba na, marami ng negosyo, marami ng other factors involved, and that already somewhat became the alternative. Naging alternative na tingnan yung belief natin when it comes to positive thinking and healing. So this is how spirituality relates to coping with illness and its management, in addition to actual physiologic healing. So studies on how spirituality prevents poor health were not included sa article na ito, and they are being separated. But this is important when it comes to our healing. So sa kanila dito, HIV, AIDS specific for cancer, cardiovascular disease, and even wound healing. And yes, there is a correlation. Meron talagang correlation. Spiritual role of healing, so it can be in your faith. You can do prayers, you can do meditation, you can do your own individual na parang yung have a moment for you to imagine yourself healing, and that can already help so much. And lastly, meron pa tayong last article that I think you want to also see. So this one is this is spiritual role in healing. So before pa daw, long before chemotherapy and antiretrovirals, seen before antibiotics, medically ill people turn to spiritual healing methods to get better. And this one, hindi lang ito one time. And it's not just, yun nga, as I said before, hindi rin ako naniniwala dito. But there are so many miraculous recoveries. Stage 4 cancer, binigyan na ng taning ng buhay, 1 month, 2 months, 6 months na lang. And they lived for more than a year, for 2 years. And they all have something in common. Sa isang research niyan, 1,500 incidents, cases of miraculous healing. Alam nyo ba kung ano yung common sa kanila? It's the importance of positive thinking and belief na sila ay magiging magaling. Sila ay gagaling from their illness. So, physicians have transformed themselves from healers of whole patients into surgical kasi nga, yun, naging ano na lang, dependent na yung mga doctors in surgical and pharmacologic technicians paying little attention to psychological and spiritual aspect of the person. At yun yung gusto nating ibalik ngayon. A patient struggling with serious illness, especially one which a physiologic cure is improbable, also struggles with questions about ultimate meaning and purpose of life and suffering. So many patients believe that spiritual health is as important as physical health and rely on religion to cope with serious health problems, and consequently healing the whole person depends not only on addressing the physiologic but also on addressing the search for answers to spiritual questions. And although this one is directed to spiritual thinking, but this only goes to show how our mindset, how we deal with stresses, how we process things is really important. So for those who are Catholic or whatever your religion is, you can turn into your belief to help you, especially yung mga namumroblema ngayon when it comes to their healing. If you want to know more about low-carb nutrition, marami na tayong videos. We made that for you to start your low-carb the right way, and also how to transition from low carb and then successfully going into fasting. And after you already know that, then you have to trust yourself and you have to believe na there's God to help you, to guide you, and to help you heal. Kailangan you have to believe that yourself, and once you believe that, you just have to let go. Hindi nyo kailangan mag-overthink, because I think one of the many reasons why hindi successful yung iba is their anxiety. They're overthinking that if they are doing it right, o kung successful ba ito, o tama ba yung ginagawa nila. The anxiety, it will lead them into a vicious cycle na hindi na nga sila nag-overthink sila, and that stress is also inducing inflammation in their body. Yun nga, meron nga nagsabi na if you are just going to stress on it, kung magmamroblema ka lang naman, mas mabuti pang kumain ka na lang ng tinapay, or kumain ka na lang ng dessert. Because if you stress on it, if you think about it too deeply na hindi na healthy na paraan, it can still induce inflammation in your body more than you eating high carb food. And of course, I'm not saying na kumain na lang kayo ng high carb, but that is just an example, a scenario how important proper thinking, positive thinking, and avoidance of negative self-talk. Kailangan paniwalaan that once you already did your best, that you already did your part, you will also start believing that you are truly healing. Hindi lang basta nag-focus sa negative. Try to also think and appreciate the good things na hindi mo na naisip, like how light you feel, kung gaano kagaan yung pakiramdam mo, even the fact na wala kang minsan gana kumain, know that your body is all cleansing its own self. Kine-cleanse na yan. If you don't have the appetite to eat, then your body, meaning, is already eating, recycling the foods that you have in your system. And you have to think that you are doing it right, and you have to believe that you are doing it right. And for mantra, para sa mga hindi pa naniniwala that they are doing it right and nag-overthink kahit pa stabilize na sila in 16:8 or 18:6, and nag-iisip parate kung i-break ko ba yung fast kong ito o kakain ba ako or whatever. So as long as you know that you are sticking to the safe list in low carb, and you already know your fasting schedule according to your health goals, then you can just think this way. Okay? So this is the first mantra, and that is, Whether I fast or I eat, I just stay healthy and fit. So, yan yung always yung isipin. Every time na natatakot kayo, ano ba, baka nasobrahan na ako sa fast, o baka kulang pa yung fast ko, o baka hindi to tama yung kinakain ko, just be practical. Hindi nyo kailangan mag-isip ng malalim, hindi nyo kailangan problemahin, just chill, okay? Chill lang tayo. Even if I'm into low carb and I'm fasting every day, and paminsan-minsan kumakain sa labas, and as long as you know the basics, you don't need to stress on it. So, every time na meron kayong naisip, negative self-talk na naman kayo, nag-overthink naman kayo, erase that thought and replace it with this thought. So, whether I fast or I eat, I just stay healthy and fit. So, yun lang yung isipin ninyo. And of course, hindi ito gagawing excuse ha, na kumain kayo ng high carb, kumain kayo ng desserts, ng sodas, magkakaroon na naman kayo ng high sugar and inflammation in your body. No, you stick to our safe list still. You still do the basic low carb, and you already know what is the right fasting schedule for you. And every time, para sa merong mga nag-anxiety, nag-overthinking, try to tell this to yourself every time na nako-confuse kayo. So, whether I fast or I eat, I just stay healthy and fit. And you will see yourself improving over time. So that is our first mantra. And for our second mantra, kailangan sabihin nyo ito sa inyong sarili 10 times, 10 repetitions, 3 times a day. So para siyang pagkain. So when we eat, twice a day na lang tayo kumakain maximum, di ba? Or sometimes once a day lang. But this one, you have to tell yourself 3 times a day and repeat it 10 times each time. So a total of 30 times a day. So maybe the moment you wake up, and then in the middle of the day, and before you go to sleep. So the second mantra would be this. Okay? So every day, in every beautiful way, I am getting better and better. Whatever that means for you. Kung ano yung ibig sabihin ng pagaling ninyo. So sa bawat araw, sa kahit anong paraan, in every beautiful way, sa iba't ibang magandang paraan, know na ako ay gumagaling ng gumagaling. So every day, in every beautiful way, I am getting better and better. Whether it's cancer that you want to heal, whether it's increase of your muscle mass that you want, or if you want to have a better breathing, or mawala na yung sakit ng tiyan, o magkaroon ng extra muscles, o magkaroon ng baby for those who want to get pregnant. So imagine every day before going to sleep, and then when you wake up, and in the middle of the day, have a 1 minute, 1 to 2 minutes of silence, and tell this to yourself, and imagine that part of your body improving. So every day, in every beautiful way, I am getting better and better. Tell that to yourself, and every time nagkakaroon kayo ng self-talk, every time you see yourself in the mirror and you don't like what you see, replace this. Always think that you are beautiful, that you are enough, and that you are getting better and better. Focus on the good things, and imagine yourself, seeing yourself in your best self-image. Because yun nga, based on studies, your self-imagery, yung pinaka-importante, how we can actually make our healing faster. So all of these mindset, okay, should be paired up with proper low carb and proper fasting. Na kung saan, yun yung bulk of our discussions and our videos that you can watch freely in our YouTube channels, and also here in Facebook. But when it comes to mindset, you can have this mindset every day. So whether I fast or I eat, wag na kayong mag-isip, you just stay healthy and fit. And also, again, every day, in every beautiful way, I am getting better and better. It is very important dahil ikaw lang ang merong hawak sa iyong pag-iisip, and how you process things in your head has direct impact on how your body will also process things. So if you want, kung ako, what I usually imagine if I have tasks to do, inimagine ko lang yung mga fat cells ko, yung mga taba ko sa katawan, sila yung nagpo-fuel sa akin to make the necessary things that I do in work, or in our contents here, or in other things that I need to do in my day-to-day life. So whether you believe you can or believe you can't, you are right. So either way, ikaw pa rin ang tama. So why not just believe you can? And I know that you can. So, yun lang muna for tonight. Sorry kanina na-mute pala. We will just cut this short next time para makita ninyo. Para we can just proceed to the time na meron ng audio. So, thank you so much everybody. I'll see you again in our next video. And if you wish to know more, meron tayong Life Without Rice for food inspirations and also low carb feasting and fasting community para sa mga inspirations and motivations and some questions when it comes to low carb and feasting and fasting. And also for those who wish to be guided, we have LCF Masterclass by yours truly. Meron na tayong LCF Masterclass for diabetes, for hypertension, for weight loss, for fatty liver, for GERD, including na din partly anxiety, and also autoimmune diseases. Also, we have female health, reproductive health, including PCOS, myoma. Meron na din tayong, ano ba yung last natin? Childhood obesity. So, we already have childhood obesity illness, and soon we will already have our masterclass for kidney diseases, gallbladder diseases, and longevity and mental health. So if you wish to know more and be a part of our weekly live Q&A na kung saan tayo nag-entertain ng questions, then you can just message our admins in this Facebook page, LCF Masterclass by Josephine Grace Rojo MD. That is the page for enrollment only, not for Q&A, but only for enrollment. And I'll see you also this March 27 on our meet and greet. Just message our admins, Angela and Chat, in the following numbers if you wish to be a part of that meet and greet. I think we only have very few slots left. So thank you so much, everybody. Remember to always stay low carb so that we all stay safe. Have a good night.